We are officially inside the game. This is a Reddit Dota 2 League Season 2 matchup between Ozone and Say No to Meepo. This is game 1 of a best of 2 series, and we're right inside the draft. Haven't missed a moment of the exciting drafting action. I'm Zeron for terrible damage, and excited to bring this one to you. I fixed up my stream. I'm ready to go. And just waiting on this first ban out of Ozone. And it will be the Bat Rider. IO immediately in response, Say No to Meepo, ready and on the ball on that one. I think that was less than a second to click that ban button. The teams here, Ozone, Trek 2's captaining, former captain of Special Operations for Season 1. We have Demigod standing in, was a member of that team. And if my facts are correct, they are in fact brothers. So the synergy should be there with the stand-in. Also, they will be working with a second stand-in, Mr. ABC. Say No to Meepo, full squad. So they should have just a little bit more togetherness there. As it is, we're going to wait on these next few bans. Always curious to... you can never really know what's behind those initial bans. Often you have heroes that they just don't want to play against, but you can also be baiting out particular heroes to get through the draft, or be picking against counters that you want to pick up early on. Darkseer makes it through. He will be the first pickup. Actually getting an... This sounds like I'm getting an echo based on how fast this draft is going. And then Rubik Weaver picked up in response to that Darkseer. Weaver kind of moving up in priority along with this man, Outworld Devourer, grabbed early. We've been seeing him more a little later on as a counter pick. You know, if your opponent commits to one of these mid-centric intelligence heroes like Puck, Queen of Pain, Bat Rider, you could go in for that Outworld Devourer in response, so he could be really strong against that. Earlier on, you get the option of picking against him, but here we see Ozone now deciding to spend their next couple bans against counter picks to that Outworld Devourer, Razor being one of them. Could see either Lone Druid or Kunkka picked next as a banned next as a block pick. Both available, see how Say No to Meepo responds, and that's one of the things that makes OD, a powerful hero in my mind. Is you always have counter picks in mind to some degree, but there's a select few heroes that can actually force you to respond directly to them. You have Lifestealer, where when you see that, the other team picks a counter, and we see the bans, Razor and now Lone Druid, as mentioned, counter picks to that Outworld Devourer in toward mid. But with that, you have, it's not a lot of heroes that have that, where if you have Lifestealer, the other team's going to be picking Bane or Shadow Demon, or maybe Weaver as a carry against him. You have Phantom Lancer for a while, you saw a Gyrocopter or some sort of hero to have to deal with that specifically. Whereas, Say No to Meepo picks up Rubik, you don't necessarily have to counter Rubik. Kunkka, you don't have to counter Kunkka. Kunkka is the counter pick here to Outworld Devourer, so that is the choice. As mentioned, one of those few popular counter picks. Jakiro picked up by Ozone, the combination with Vacuum Ice Path. Just sticking straight to tried and true, kind of a trend that popped up a month or two ago and has remained popular ever since. Say No to Meepo. Now they have a bit more room to play around with, get back to it. They spent their counter pick. Now they're going to focus on what they had planned. But the thing about counter picks is it can screw up the strategy. They didn't necessarily... I'm pretty sure Say No to Meepo did not come into this draft saying, you know what, we want to run something that involves a combination with Kunkka. And then the question becomes, how comfortable is their mid player with Kunkka? Does he really want to be playing that? Does he feel comfortable compared to other heroes? So we don't know how, I don't know how much of an impact that's actually playing here. The Dazzle An off-the-wall pick, which makes me wonder, what is this last pick? If Dazzle's number 4, what are they going to pull out for number 5? They may just be waiting, feeling like Dazzle's more flexible and not reliant on what Ozone is picking up, and Naga Siren the selection, so kind of going for a wombo combo deal here. Song in, set up the Vacuum Ice Path, follow up with Sanity's Eclipse. A lot of instant big AoE teamfight damage. Then they close out with Chaos Knight. We do not often see the Chaos Knight as a solo, non-IO combination. Doesn't pop up a whole lot without IO, but here he is. Which puts him solely in that one safe lane position, supported by Rubik and Dazzle, with Weaver headed to offlane, Kunkka mid. Team Ozone also seeming like they're set up for a defensive tri-lane with the Darkseer selection, with the Jakiro selection that puts you in that scenario pretty strongly. Now the question is Naga Siren, is this their support or is this their carry? This last pick is going to let us know which of those two it is. I do have a feeling that it is for support. It means we're looking at a carry to go up against this. And they're not quite sure as of yet, digging into the reserve time. This may be the first time all draft that either team has gone into reserve time. They may be thinking about cleaving down those phantasms. You could see something like Faceless Void, just to lock them down inside the chrono, to not let it happen. Go with Sven for cleave. Gyrocopter not in the pool. Anti-Mage already banned. And then Enigma. So it is Naga Siren as the carry in this scenario. Enigma, the secondary support. Likely to be hanging out in jungle. Which does limit Darkseer somewhat in that it's not as easy to transition into the jungle. But he shouldn't have too much of a problem with this tri-lane. Dazzle, no lockdown. Need level 2 just to have Fade Bolt for burst on Rubik. Chaos Knight can be scary though, with Chaos Bolt Reality Rift. So if he does get locked down, could be a problem. As Enigma's going to be hanging out in that jungle, farming it up. But this also makes it pretty easy on the Weaver. He should be doing pretty well for himself in that off lane, and we're now inside the game. First up, our dire team, Ozone. First up, we'll start with the captain. Trek2s will be handling the Jakiro. Should be supporting up top along with the Enigma headed to jungle. That's a stand-in, Mr. ABC. Swaggerous Epicurus is on Naga Siren to carry. Starting out with the Quelling Blade. Out towards mid, we have our other stand-in, Demigod. We'll be playing out World Devourer, starting with Null Talisman and a single set of Tangos. And then Hey Pig, headed down toward bottom. That's your Darkseer. On the opposite side of the river, we've got Say No to Meepo. Up top, we actually have Brozu on the offlane Chaos Knight. Could be seeing dual lanes here. Dracula will be playing Kunkka toward the mid, it looks like, camping the top rune, not going for the block. Instead, Brewman on the Weaver, scouting out his own jungle, will run into Hey Pig, and nothing comes of that, just a tiny bit of harass. And then Renegade is on the Rubik, also headed up in Kunkka's direction. Then we have our other support, the Octahob, will be playing Dazzle. Waiting to see how these lanes settle in.
Time to get angry with each other.
It does look like they're going to attempt to aggressive tri-lane this. It feels like a bit of an awkward aggressive tri-lane, especially with Dazzle starting off with Shallow Grave. I mean, Dazzle right now contributes nothing to the aggressive potential of this lane. However, this is a response to having Enigma. It was a bit of a greedy draft. So if Enigma doesn't join this tri-lane, this can turn into as much of an oxymoron as it seems, a farming offensive tri-lane. As they don't really need to get kills if the pulls aren't there. And then a ward drop down to block continued pulls. No sentries on Trek 2s. How about on Enigma? Enigma is carrying them. Mr. ABC does have himself a set of sentry wards. Not the hardest one to de-ward right there. The camp did spawn at the 30-second mark. That's placed. They will spot it out. They should spot it out. It was right there. There we go. That's being spotted. They're not doing the pull at 117. Wave pushing up just a little bit. So far, not really getting the option to get anything out of this is Swaggerous. Lift up on Trek 2s, drawing back Chaos Bolt, but no DPS, just one or two right clicks out of the Octahob, and that prevents that from being a kill. Now he does have Shadow Wave. So that'll do a little bit, but again, it's more sustain. Looking more like a farming tri-lane up top. This puts Weaver up against Darkseer down bottom. It's an interesting matchup. Would say can go either way, very much up to execution here out of our two players, Brewman and Hey Pig. In toward mid so far, breaking even both sides. Dracula gonna find himself in Viz Rune, but he did have to leave lane to grab that, so he misses just a little bit of experience. Now we have some contesting of this pull here. Ping out on Swaggerous and just charges right in Brozu. The ice path is available but late, and this is getting hyper aggressive here. Are they going to be able to turn this around? Renegade very low. There goes the Maleficent, throws out Shallow Grave on himself. Will it be enough? Shadow Wave as well to heal up, continuing to chase through the woods. Epicurus has salved up, has caught up in his health. No mana left to Riptide any further. No deaths so far out of all of this. I hear a telekinesis lift up on Trek 2s. Renegade is brought down as they end up toward mid. Demigod, of all people, end picking up that kill. No real rotation. It's just slightly up. He's still within experience range of the mid creeps, but he does get first blood as they chase Renegade all the way to mid lane. And there we go. The first kill goes sort of to the defensive tri-lane. As Mr. ABC joined the action there. Interrupted his jungle a bit. So not a complete loss, but you do not want to be giving up first blood there. Now double damage picked up by Demigod, looking to make something of it. Couple right clicks there on Dracula. He's continuing to chase. He's moving very quickly with those tranquil boots. Astral imprisonment, but he's perhaps a little overly cautious here. And that's going to cost him a kill. Perhaps concerned about a torrent. No support possible. Everybody was visible on the map, but not willing to commit. Playing it safe. Does a good amount of harass, but no kill there. Bottle empty for Dracula. Will have to crow, but the courier out delivering wards. So they're going to get their vision back up. Sentry put down. Not the best time D-ward there at 5 minutes. Those wards were scheduled to about run out either way. As we saw, the new replacement set just came out to Renegade. Demigod opting for the imprisonment, max imprisonment, as opposed to the aura. And there we go, a kill with Sanity's Eclipse. Dracula opted didn't get the chance to ball crow and heal up too far. A couple more right clicks and an imprisonment, and Sanity's Eclipse able to bring him down. About to say, I've been seeing more popular 2 points in imprisonment, 4 points in Essence Aura. Demigod going for what I saw much more in the past, which is max that imprisonment first. Treads on Brozu. And the trio headed downriver, just going to secure the warding of the rune and perhaps look to translate that into a kill. They spot out Mr. ABC. Gotta be careful now. Reality Rift back. Chaos Bolt now available, just barely at 140. He didn't tread switch for that. Waited for the mana. Slowed it up, but still enough to get the kill. Ice Path thrown down just to hold them back. No way to help. And they'll back up toward the lane. After the Reality Rift, he was still on Strength Treads, had just picked up the Treads. Was just a few mana short of Chaos Bolt, but there we go. Ice Path catches out on Renegade as Demigod rotates in. Imprisonment goes on Brozu. Shallow Grave used on Renegade. Not going to chase this. There goes the poison out on Swaggerus. Throws a net. Tries to split, but lifted up. And that's it for Epicurus. Just up a little too far. Should have known where those heroes were out of Say No to Meepo. But lacked the reminder out of the vision that got de-warded. Sentry was still up. Got a ward here in the trees. I'm actually not sure about this specific position in terms of how it blocks. And if it does. Not tested so far, I don't think. Mr. ABC has his Soul Ring and not a whole lot else, but in towards mid. Actually missed a kill out on Dracula. Now going on Renegade. The imprisonment going to try and follow this up. Can he finish him? One more right click as he jukes through the trees. Got him. That's a double kill. And this is what a lot of teams are fearing lately. Out of the Outworld Devourer is the snowballing effect. We see Demigod at 4-0 on the board. And perhaps this could be attributed to what I was mentioning in the draft. Kunkka picked up as a counter pick to Outworld Devourer, but that says nothing about how comfortable Dracula specifically is with the hero and whether or not he had any plans of playing it. And oh my, action up top as I'm talking about that. That's a double kill. Chaos Knight and Dazzle being brought down as Mr. ABC rotates in once again. In towards mid, lift up on Demigod, pulled back, taking a lot of harass, but he'll be fine. Imprisonment out on Dracula. Down bottom, no movement out of these two. And this lane is trading pretty evenly. Hey Pig with the slight advantage in last hits, but diving the tower now. We saw Dual Breath thrown out. Epicurus getting low. Shallow Grave used a little prematurely on Octahob. And now, actually, the Chaos Knight is brought down through all that trade of Epicurus for Brozu. Now trying to chase back with the TP in on Mr. ABC. Wants to TP out of there. Does not have the mana. Soul Ring up in 2 seconds to help him out. And at the same time, Demigod coming in the back, picking up a kill on Dazzle, and now Renegade brought down. Dracula now in trouble. And cleaning up, one more right click, and there we go. Dracula brought down, triple kill for Demigod. That's 7-0 on the board. Outworld Devourer plowing right on through. Now TPing back in toward mid. And this is the state of things. Brozu at just hitting level 6 now. Epicurus is barely there as well, but we see Trek2's at level 7 on the support Jakiro. Mr. ABC at level 7 on the support and jungling Enigma. And Demigod's just everywhere getting kills, diving tower at tier 1 with Brozu standing, TPing in.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And now finds Renegade. Shallow Grave used. There's the poison, lift up. Saw Chaos Bolt used as well. Reality Rift is available. There's the imprisonment, Force Staff already up, so able to get away. No harm, no foul being up that far. Trek 2's up past the tower. Tier 1 getting low. And that'll be the tier 1 going the way of actually Trek 2's taking the last hit. Bit greedy there out of the support.
Yo, Green Dudes, something bad is happening.
But now Brewman finally rotates out, looking to make something happen, chasing down on Epicurus. Ice Path goes out, does not hit, continuing to chase, but not enough damage on him at this point. Invisibility. Invis rune picked up by Demigod. Is he going to wait to get a kill, or is he just going to farm? No, he's looking for someone.
Yo, Green Dudes, something bad is happening.
The rotation is coming up towards top. Dracula in a bit of trouble here. Imprisonment any second. Just good. Try and catch up. Took a while with that. Octohob is there and doesn't follow up. Just scaring him a little bit. No points, and X marks the spot. Ward thrown down. Doesn't continue that fight. Down bottom, we've got 2 going on. Oh, hey, pig. Charging away. Surge, not enough. As they're able to bring him down with that support TP and a Demigod too late. Demigod's still looking to make something happen. He knows how quickly he can bring down Renegade. 2 needs 4 right clicks to bring him down.
Middle tower is under attack.
Only able to get 2. Say's Eclipse is up in 10. Mr. ABC will rotate in towards mid to get some farming levels there. As Demigod's down bottom. Rotating through the jungle, Octohob and Dracula. Headed back toward mid lane. As you see a TP in by Hey Pig. And here come the dives. Nope, not willing to go just yet. Gonna hold up the creep wave behind the tower. Trying to make a push happen. Kings go out. Trek 2 just narrowly dodges that torrent. TP in from Renegade to help out. Lift up on Hey Pig, pulled back, but now here's Demigod. Couple right clicks. The stolen imprisonment to buy some time, but Renegade brought down by the ion shell damage. Burman just going to have to back up and get out of there. Dracula going to try and rotate in and see what he can do to help out. But Demigod level 13 right now. Dracula level 8. Throws up a torrent, Force Staff ahead. Not going to be deterred. There goes out the swarm. Throws down the Say's Eclipse as well. Going to try and turn this around. He has the bug on him. Needs to get that off, but the extra damage he has from that orb not going to help him do that any faster. Continuing to chase. This could be a big kill for Brewman, but he's out of mana. Care of that imprisonment. And Demigod going to get out of there just fine, sitting at 9-0-1. Up top, push continues on this tier 2 tower. Goes the poison touch. Once again, the stun. It is level 3 at this point. Pulled back with telekinesis, but there's the Song of the Siren. And Epicurus going to get away with that. But Octohob not willing to let it go. Going to try and continue to chase. Gives it up. As their lanes start to rotate back to where they were. Brewman up against Hey Pig once again down here on bottom.
Something bad is happening in your bottom. Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
Brewman able to get the deny there on that tier 1 bottom. Torrent thrown out from Dracula doesn't hit. But here's Demigod as everyone backs up. Demigod 14, the level 11, the next closest Weaver, Darkseer, and Enigma. See Brewman working towards the Perseverance, has his treads along with the Wraith Band. Force Staff forward, Imprisonment goes out. Torrent, though, going to slow it up. Octohob, no way out of that one, though. There's the Ghost Ship, lands on 2, but there's not really a follow-up. We're looking at a 17-minute game where we're closing in on 10,000 gold advantage for Ozone, clearing 10,000 the experience advantage.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Ding dong! Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Oh man, this is totally hurting my...
And once again, Artu's taking the last hit on the tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Tier 2 push coming in. Very difficult to fight into. As I hear Brozu going on Mr. ABC. Highly aggressive there. Black hole thrown out, catches 3. Dracula sends the clips over everyone. Vacuum back into the macro pyre. And there's 3 down right there. And the tier 2 push will continue. No stopping this at this point. And that's a BKB for Mr. ABC. And there's the call. Just going to give it up there, 17-4. Not going to try and turn this one around. Too far up, not able to deal with the damage out of. Coming out of Demigod on that Outworld Devourer, 11-0-3. The snowball was alive and well. And you can see the numbers right there. Very one way, very quickly. And that's the way you hope to go when you choose that Outworld Devourer. Game 2 will be coming up in just a couple minutes.